Fly, Eagles, fly. We should have done this one right after they won. This is going to air way too late, but fly, Eagles,
Okay.
fly.
I don't know
And
who played. I don't know who won. I was asking my wife. I thought the Eagles was a hockey team. But anyway, let's move on. Hey, so John, uh,
yes.
I've got a little slideshow here. I'm going to have a
Oh,
subject.
you know what? Hang on.
About.
I gotta set up my computer so you can share. Okay, there we
Oh,
go. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We sure appreciate you following along. Oh, and I also, gosh, you can tell how bad we are. I got to put my focus on do not disturb so we don't have any. Whoa, that is a phenomenal photograph.
okay. This is where I talk and you shut up.
Oh,
So this is one of John's wave images. He's shown a couple in, I think, on our show. And then I asked him for one, and he said I couldn't pick one. And he sent me, what, three?
yeah.
And I loved that one. It's pretty cool. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. And I'm not a color guy, but I can appreciate that wave. But then we got a wave image from one of our workshop attendees. She had shot this back during your retreat in Molokai, but then
Yep.
on our last, uh, I'm not sure what was our last one with Roberta. Was it the Pharaohs?
That's when she was with us. Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
And we talked about black and white processing. And so she decided to apply some of her new black and white processing skills to an image she had created at Molokai. And she came up with this one. And this just really resonates with me.
Hmm.
I love both images, but this one is just to me amazing. Um, and I wanted to talk about this because it illustrates that, in my opinion, there is no such thing as good art or bad art. There's only different art. And that's important because sometimes we think because I love this image, it resonates with me more than this one, that is making a statement about you as a photographer. And that couldn't be farther from the truth. It's a statement about me, what I love, and partly my vision. So many times we think because this image gets more likes on social media, it's a better image than this one. And it just ain't so.
Yeah.
There is no good art or bad art, just different art.
Yep.
And that's why I love Brooks' idea that our art will find its audience. And it may be a small audience or it may be a big audience. But in general, I'm a little jaded. I believe that when you have a large audience, it's because you're playing to the audience. When you have a small audience, it could be because it's just not very good work. But I choose to believe it's because we're following our vision. And there's only a certain number of people who will really relate and have that work resonate. So, Roberta, fantastic job. I love it. And here's another lesson. I would have done this image a little different than Roberta has.
Yeah.
And I could certainly talk with Roberta and say, well, Roberta, here's what I would do and go through it. But this is her image, it's her statement.
Yes.
It's expressing what's inside of her, and you got to honor that.
Yes. Absolutely. What a great little story. I love when these moments happen that I have no idea what you're going to do. Uh, but I love it. I think this really illustrates quite clearly what we're trying to say. There's no right or wrong answer to art making. There's just different. And even with your last comment, so you would do that image differently just means that it's another different piece of art. It doesn't make yours better than Roberta's. It doesn't make my color one lesser or better. None of that applies. And that's why I don't do competitions and all that stuff anymore because it doesn't make any sense to me to do them. It doesn't jive at all with where my head's at with regard to making with regard to photography, my journey with photography, period.
Now, here's another thought that's quite interesting. using Rick Rubin's analogy that these are diary entries. That was your diary entry. This is Roberta's.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
ever go, would we ever, let's pretend that you had been writing in your diary and it was laying open on the desk and I just didn't even know what it was. And I looked at it and I said, hey, John, you really ought to say this differently and you ought to feel differently and you
Uh,
ought to express yourself differently. We would never believe of correcting somebody's diary entry.
no, my
Good
gosh,
of
no.
us.
My gosh, no.
Yeah,
No, we really
enough
wouldn't.
said.
Well, good job, buddy. And Roberta, we love you. She's not only been a participant on a number of offerings that I've done, that she's been included with you on Death Valley and also Faroe Islands, but Roberta has become a good friend. And
Wonderful person.
yes, she is a wonderful person. What I love about her, just to sum this all up, is she wrote a lovely note when she sent those images to us. And that note that she shared was even more important, than that image to me, because she was like, I really don't care what either of you think. I'm not looking for feedback from you at all. I just wanted to show you that I was listening, or she essentially share with us that she was listening to what was said in the Out of Chicago conference, and that she went back and she's getting more confident with her entrusting her process to just make images that resonate with her.
Criticism and drain went down, and criticism and praise went down the same drain
Yeah.
with
Good
that.
job, buddy. We'll see you
Okay.
see you in a few seconds.
Okay.